Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Just Law on IQRA TV. I'm your host Ilyas Bulbulia and I'll be with you for the next hour. As our regular viewers are aware, on Just Law we normally discuss an area of law which may be interest to our viewers. And secondly, and more importantly, on Just Law, because it's a live show, our viewers are able to call in and ask us any questions that they have on any aspect of the law. Hopefully we should be able to cover matters as diverse as criminal matters, immigration matters, family matters, etc. So anything to do with English law, pick up the phone and please do call us, and hopefully we'll be able to give you some guidance on the issues that you have. Just a couple of minor matters before we get going. Obviously it's a live show, so we're not able to give you very detailed advice live on air. If your query does require more detailed advice, then we'll ask you to leave your number with the control room and I'll call you back. Secondly, obviously we're not able to look at your documents because it's a live show and we don't have access to your documents. So to some extent, the advice that we give is of a generic nature. But having said that, in my experience, on this show, we should be able to provide proper advice, proper guidance or a steer in relation to the issues that you have on, I would say, 99% of the queries that we deal with. So that's the sort of caveats out of the way. Any questions on any matters, please pick up the phone and give us a call. Now, as always, we normally have a topic which we discuss. And today it's an interesting topic that I want to discuss, which relates to students who are in the United Kingdom, in particular foreign students who are in the United Kingdom studying here, either at a college or at a university. And we regularly get asked by students, by their families, as to what their options are when their studies come to an end. If you take, for example, somebody who's here studying at a UK university, they've done 3 years here, they've lived here for 3 years, they've become used to the lifestyle here, and obviously they've started thinking about how they can stay in the United Kingdom, whether there are any options or not. So it's a very natural query, natural concern to have for any student who's here to look at whether legally it's possible to stay here, and continue to live here and ultimately settle here in the United Kingdom. And what I want to do today is look at the options available to those students. Now, although that's the topic we're discussing, your calls can relate to any matter. It doesn't have to be related to the matter that we're discussing. I'll take our first call for the day. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. Thank you for calling. What's your question?
Hi there. I just wanted to ask you, I've got my spouse, we're not married yet, we're getting married soon in Pakistan.
Okay, mashallah, good.
She's already got a student visa to come here, study in England,
okay.
Starting in January 2018.
Okay, yep, understand.
My question was that if she comes over here as a student visa,
yep,
and which is coming hopefully in December,
right,
can we change that student visa straight into spouse when she's here?
Yeah, I'm assuming that a student visa will be for more than 6 months, which is normally the case.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no problem. Whilst she's in the United Kingdom, she will be able to switch from a student visa to a marriage visa. Now, there are two things you need to bear in mind. One is obviously you'll need to get married. Now, the marriage can either take place here in the United Kingdom, or you could go abroad, India, Pakistan, wherever it is, and you could get married there legally and then come here. But there is obviously a requirement to get married. Students can get married in the United Kingdom. There is a process that you need to follow, as in when you go to the registry office, they will take your details, they'll refer the matter to the Home Office. The Home Office will decide whether the marriage can go ahead or not, or whether they want to call you in for an interview. But generally speaking, it shouldn't be a problem where it's a genuine marriage. So the first bit is getting married. You don't have to get married here. You can actually get married abroad. So once you've got the first part out of the way, the second part obviously is making the application in country to change your visa from a student visa to a spouse visa. Now, on that, the only thing in my experience you need to be careful about is the income requirement. So in the same way that when you sponsor somebody from abroad to come here as a husband or wife, you have to meet the 18,600 requirement. that requirement will apply in the UK as well.
Right. Okay. The only thing was that her admission is done in University of Dundee.
Yep.
I live in Manchester. Because you were not supposed to get. I mean, this was not a planned one. This is something that we've just decided.
Okay.
So once she's here, I mean, is there any way? I mean, do we have to wait for some time, or can we do it straight away once she's here?
No. There's no requirement that you should wait, because just because she gets married doesn't mean, in my view, that she has sort of ceased to be a student as such. It doesn't mean that you've come with an ulterior motive. I mean, she's here to study. She's studying. What I would do is make sure she does continue to study whilst the marriage process is going on. So
that was my question, second part, because I don't think she'll be able to continue studying if she gets married.
No.
Because Dundee is quite far.
But continue studying up until the visa is granted.
Right.
Because the way I would do it, and this is what I've advised when dealing with students who are transferring, is once she's here as a student and you've got the marriage over and done with, the best thing to do, in my view, is then make a premium application for the visa to be switched from a marriage visa to from a student visa to a marriage visa. Make a premium application. Where you book the appointment, you take all your paperwork, and you get the decision on the day. So the moment you get the decision and she transfers onto the marriage visa, she doesn't need to study at that stage.
Perfect. Brilliant.
That's the best way to do it.
Thank you so much for your kind advices. I really appreciate it.
No problem at all. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you. So, so that's quite an interesting question, because what we're discussing today is the position of students. Right, we'll take our next call. We're going to have to take a short break in a few minutes, but let me take the next call and the question that the caller has. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Ji bhai, what's your question?
Yes, I have a question about a spouse visa.
Okay.
So I need to start collecting relationship evidence.
Okay.
So can you give me just some idea how many pages of WhatsApp messages I should be submitting to Sheffield?
Okay, brother,
and
do you
also,
have? Yeah, sure.
And also my second question is priority service, is it worth it these days? Because I've heard it takes quite a while, a long time as well.
Both very interesting questions. We do need to take a short break. So we'll take the break. If you want to hold, you can hold. But I'll answer the questions after our break. Thank you very much. We'll be back in the next couple of minutes.